Mula sa kabisera ng Inglaterra, sa puso ng Britanya, London, UK. London, UK. Ito ang Channel Philippines Network, Pinoy Radio UK. Pinoy Radio UK. Sumasahing papawid, 24 oras. 24 oras. Buong linggo. Sa www.pinoyradiouk.com. Ang mga pinakapaborito mga awitin, mga pinakaabangang programa, at mga sariwang balita at impormasyon mula at para sa mga kababayang Pilipino sa UK at sa buong mundo. Pinoy Radio UK. Pinoy Radio UK.
Sorry, you called me out there doing a bit of grooving out to the music. Anyway, happy Thursday po. Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. Now, to our new viewers, welcome to our, well, not just new viewers, of course, to everyone. Happy Thursday po, and welcome to our Migration Corner. For the new viewers, pangalan ko po, LIRA Simong CABATBAT, and I'm a solicitor of more than 3 decades at Douglas Simon Solicitors, and amongst other things, ang specialty ko po, immigration. Yung pag-usapan natin nga ngayon. So, happy Thursday nga. Thursday is usually the anything goes immigration. Now, usually, I have a partner in crime, si Sonny. Unfortunately, Sonny can't be with us today. And I'm quite gutted about that because we miss him. I missed him also last week. But, hopefully nga next week, kasama natin nga siya ulit. But the good news is, we have, of course, the very, very talented, our director nga, Paula Perez, who is working hard nga in the background to keep us on air. So thank you very much, Paula, as usual. Now, I hope that you will enjoy nga today. I know Thursday is always a highlight nga of my week. I truly enjoy hopefully imparting knowledge nga and a bit of banter with all our friends. Now, because Sonny's not nga with us tonight, there's slight change in the format. So, yung batian po natin, that's going to happen towards the end of the program. So, kung nanonood na nga kayo ngayon, I hope you are, and gusto nyo kaming batiin, and please do, please start preparing your messages and send it on. And I promise you, we will get through all the hellos, at the end towards the end of the program. So now it is, of course, ngayon. Ano na nga yung pecha natin? 16th, 16th of March. Astonishing. It's today the weather in the UK at least, certainly in Richmond, where I am based, Richmond, Surrey. End of the district line, is not too bad actually. I think today hindi ayaw ko umulan ngayon. Kahapon umuulan. Ngayon, I think it was actually quite sunny today, and hopefully that will now continue. Yung nga lang last 2 weeks, as you know, ang lamig nga lang, and it's a little bit, it's I don't mind winter. Ewan ko sa inyo, I don't mind the cold even, but it's nice to also, I'm missing the sun. I think the Filipino in me is saying, no, ano nangyari na, It's just to the weather. I would like to see the sun again. It would be very nice. I'm missing it. So I'm so looking forward to spring. Hopefully this spring will finally spring to us with any luck, And of course, Easter's coming also in April. But anyway, so hopefully you are home, and you have your feet up and you are now about to enjoy, hopefully, the Immigration Corner. Now, malaking topic po natin ngayon. And it is top 3, in fact, of popularity in questions to me and topics. And itong topic na to, it was actually brought to me by someone who is who watches, no, our Immigration Corner every Thursday. So sabi ko sa kanya, last week, it was actually post me last week, sabi ko sa kanya, it's actually a topic that I'm going to deal with this week. So it is truly one of the biggest topics in immigration. And we'll try and get through it. So immigration, topic po natin ngayong gabi, immigration, divorce, and marriage. No? So specifically nga, kung kinasal nga kayo sa atin, sa Pilipinas, tapos nandito na nga kayo. So it's actually, we're going to be dealing with the scenario that's posed by one of our viewers. I'll just use her initial. Jay said, no, you know who you are, no? Hopefully nanonood ka, because this one is for you, as they say. All right. So ito pong topic natin. Eh yung nga, ang laki ng topic natin ngayon. So I hope you will enjoy it certainly as much as I would. And we have also some really good questions, no? And I'm looking forward to dealing with those also. And there are questions that are across board, no? To do with tax, no, travel tax nga sa Pilipinas, dependent visa of skilled worker, and other things. So it's they're actually, as usual, they're very, very good topics. So tune in. Now, so for the moment, without further ado, I think we'll go into a break. Tapos, make sure that you have pen and paper ready. No, if this is of interest to you, mga kaibigan nyo, mga kamag-anak nyo, make sure you tune in. So don't go away. See you soon.
Mula noon hanggang ngayon, serbisyong mapagkakatiwalaan, serbisyong maaasahan pagdating sa inyong mga padalang balikbayan boxes. Dito ka na sa Forex Cargo. Sa presyong kayang-kaya ng bulsa, sigurado ka pa sa inyong padala. Forex Cargo. Dahil kailangan makarating. Call 0208-813-7064. O ano pang inaantay niyo mga kabayan? Tayo na sa Forex Cargo.
100% all natural, tasty, healthy, versatile, 4 unique flavors. Taste a real sauce. Galettos.
Mula sa kabisera ng Inglaterra, sa puso ng Britanya, London, UK. London, UK. Ito ang Channel Philippines Network, Pinoy Radio UK. Pinoy Radio UK. Sumasayang papawid 24 oras. 24 oras. Buong linggo. Sa www.pinoyradiouk.com. Ang mga pinakapaborito mga awitin, mga pinakaabangang programa, at mga sariwang balita at impormasyon mula at para sa mga kababayang Pilipino sa UK at sa buong mundo. Pinoy Radio UK. Pinoy Radio UK.
Welcome back po. Again, no, kamusta sa inyong lahat? Magandang gabi. Welcome to our Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday because it's Immigration Corner po natin. Pangalan ko po, Lira Simong CABATBAT, and I'm a solicitor of more than 30 years experience at Douglas Simon Solicitors in London. We're coming to you live from London, England. No, so hopefully you're tucked up somewhere nice, no, and comfortable and warm with any luck, and that you're enjoying. I know our Immigration Corner. Now, my usual partner in crime, he is missed, and I'm sure mga mga kaibigan na nga natin, they're probably saying, "Nasan si Sonny? Sonny's not with us tonight, unfortunately." But I'm sure next week. But I'm sure like me, you're missing him. So I know. Hi, Sonny. Hopefully you're okay. But the good news is we have, of course, Paula Perez, our hardworking director in the background. And that's why we're on air. So thank you again, Paula. Now, yun nga, It is Thursday. Today is Thursday, the 16th of March, and we have some big topic. Well, we have one main topic nga and other topics by way of questions from viewers, no? So, pag-uusapan po natin ngayon, topic po natin, it is really top 3 of the most popular topics that I get asked. And it is one, it's also a topic nga that's quite in complexity, again, top 3, okay? And it is always targeted nga by the Home Office, no? So it's something absolutely you should pay attention to, no? It could be not, if it's not you, but it could be your friends nga or family could be affected by this, and it truly is one of the bigger topics. So without further ado, let's launch into it. So Paula, ang topic po natin, no? Yung kita nyo dyan, immigration, divorce, and marriage. And yung nga sabi ko kanina, this topic was actually brought to my attention by one of our viewers. Ang initial nga niya, Jay said, and she sent it to me nga last week. Sabi ko sa kanya, no, pag-uusapan nga natin ngayon. So hopefully, you're watching now, Jay said, and because it's a very interesting topic, and thank you for bringing it to me. So ito po, yung nga, as it says on the tin, no, immigration, divorce, and marriage ang pag-uusapan po natin ngayon. So si Jay said, yung ang sitwasyon po niya ito. Kasal siya sa atin. So nasa Pilipinas dati, no? So dati nakatira siya sa atin sa Pilipinas. Kinasal doon siya sa atin sa Pilipinas, umalis siya, nandito na siya sa UK. Now, hiwalay na siya doon sa asawa niya. Matagal na silang hiwalay. In fact, 12 years na sila. Wala silang mga anak, no? So, sabi niya, nandito yung partner niya. So, who's British, yung partner niya dito. Yung ex niya, yung asawa niya, nasa Pilipinas pa nga rin. Right? Now, nagpasok siya ng application dito sa UK based on private life and family life. Now, private life is dahil nga matagal na nga siya dito, may mga kaibigan siya, baka meron siya mga kamag-anak din nga dito. And on top of that, of course, that meron nga siyang relationship sa British partner niya nga dito. Now, fortunately, nabigyan siya ng visa. So, nakakuha siya ng visa for 2.5 years, which is the usual thing actually. No? So, kung application nga niya was successful on private and family life, it would usually be for 2.5 years, which is actually, which is what she got. Now, ang question niya sa akin, so as I say, ang sitwasyon, and it's not an uncommon situation, kasal siya sa atin, separated na siya, matagal na nga silang wala na nga sila, wala silang anak sa Pilipinas, nandito siya, matagal na, meron na siyang partner nga ditong panibago, yung partner niya, British nga. Yung ex niya, nasa Pilipinas pa rin, and nagpasok siya ng application, nakakuha nga siya ng visa. Now, ang question niya sa akin is, pwede ba niyang i-divorce yung asawa niya na nasa Pilipinas? Okay? So, si Jay said, doon nga siya pinanganak, yung asawa niya siguro din pinanganak, doon sila kinasal sa Pilipinas. Pero gusto niya nga niyang tapusin yung kasal nga nila, so wants to either to divorce, no? And alam naman natin, walang divorce sa atin, no? Sa atin sa Pilipinas, annulment at best is what you can get. Pangalawang question niya, which again is a great question, is can she remarry in the United Kingdom? Dahil yung gusto niyang gawin, divorce niya ang asawa nga niya o mawala niya yung kasal nga nila sa Pilipinas, yung nasa Pilipinas nga, and then wants to remarry in the United Kingdom, no? Now, so yung pong titignan nga natin. And also, I suppose we should also touch on, well, ano bang mangyayari, ano nga mangyayari dun sa kasal nga sa Pilipinas? Is that also then dissolved by the fact na meron nga siyang divorce? So those are 3 actually very complex topics. So we'll try and get through them. So unang-una po, nandito na nga siya, no? At the moment, well, she was lucky, nakakuha nga siya ng visa. Pero kahit nga wala siyang visa, no, pwede pa rin siyang magpasok ng divorce nga dito. Ang kailangan niyang pakita, no, so si Jay said, ang kailangan niyang pakita, she's what's called habitually resident in the United Kingdom. So basically, dito siya nakatira. So she treats the UK as her home. This is where the center of her activities are, dito siya nagtatrabaho. So she treats the United Kingdom to be her home. So Filipino passport holder siya, but she regards herself to be habitually resident in the United Kingdom. You can be habitually resident in the United Kingdom kahit temporary visa ka, no? So by that, I mean, sabihin natin estudyante ka dito o work-based visa ka, no? So kahit hindi ka nga permanente sa United Kingdom, kahit hindi ka British, hindi ka permanente, hindi ka indefinite leave to remain, you can still be regarded as what's called habitually resident in the UK. So ibig sabihin, pwede kayong mag-file ng divorce dito. Now, so una niyang question, can you file for divorce in the UK? Yes, usually, no? So kung habitually resident nga. Kailangan nyo nga pakita, kailangan yung marriage contract, which you can get from the PSA, no? And of course, the petition or the application will need to be completed. Sabi nga doon, no? Saan ka nakatira, so all of those, anong details ng asawa mo. But you can petition for a divorce in the United Kingdom. Now, yung proseso ng divorce, that's for another topic and possibly not really immigration, no? So, but sabihin natin, natapos na nga yung divorce. Inpisa nyo, nakakuha nga ng divorce, no? Because you can legally apply for a divorce nga. So, sabihin natin, divorce ka na. And then ang plano nga, you want to marry in the United Kingdom, no? So, hindi sa Pilipinas, but dito. Can you remarry in the UK? No? So, unang-una nga, divorce ka na. Can you then, on that basis, remarry in the UK, even though, no, you have not a petition, no, for an annulment nga sa atin. So, you have to bear in mind, wala nang divorce sa Pilipinas. Yeah? So, at best, the way you can get rid of a marriage nga sa atin is by way of an annulment. Pero iba pa yung process na yun. Annulment also has, hindi nga lang process ang iba. It also has different consequences. Dahil annulment in the Philippines, or indeed in the United Kingdom, treats the marriage as if it's not taken place. So it's quite a complex, again, area of law. But of course, divorce dito does not equal to an annulment sa atin. So hindi naman ibig sabihin na once you divorce in the UK, no, annulled na nga din sa atin automatically. Some people assume that mali yun. Okay? You are actually still married in the Philippines. No? Now, so then you have yung clash of jurisdictions. So there you have then a marriage that's dissolved in the United Kingdom, but it's still, sa Pilipinas nga, it's still ongoing because of course they will not, because the Philippine authorities are bound by Philippine law and not UK law, no, or not English law. So yung divorce nyo nga dito sa atin, they will not, it's not effective. So kung kakasal kayo sa atin, so kung ang plano divorce nga dito, tapos ikakasal kayo sa atin, yun po hindi pwede. Because obviously, sa atin, kasal pa rin kayo. So here you have a clash nga of jurisdiction. Now, but dahil nga dito kayo nakatira, and the center of your activities is the United Kingdom, it means that you would have the possibility of getting the court's jurisdiction to deal with your divorce, and that's because you're habitually resident in the UK. I would just say also, for habitual resident, usually kailangan yung pakita you've been in the United Kingdom a minimum of 12 months, okay? And other things nga, nandito na nga kayo nakatira, nandito ang trabaho and all of that. If you have those, if you satisfy those conditions, then you can petition for divorce in the United Kingdom. Now, sabihin natin yung as I say, you've divorced, can you remarry? The quick answer is yes, you can remarry in the United Kingdom. Which means that si Jay said, pagka-divorce na nga siya, kung gusto niyang pakasalan yung fiancé nga niya dito, yung Briton dito, she can do that. Okay? And that marriage, that second marriage, if you like, no, is valid in the UK, actually valid everywhere, but hindi nga lang po sa Pilipinas. Because in the Philippines, divorces are not recognized in this type of situation. Divorces can be recognized nga in the Philippines. There are provisions now for it. Pero itong sitwasyon ni Jay said, so doon siya kinasal and she's obviously Filipino, tapos nandun pa rin asawa nga niya. So in those circumstances, the Philippine authorities will say, no, dito, you're not divorced, you're actually still married. So just be careful kung ang plano nyo nga uuwi kayo sa atin. Because the divorce would be valid here, but unlikely to be valid nga sa Pilipinas. Now, assuming dito nga ikakasal si Jason, absolutely, you can remarry in the UK. So it's the usual thing. So you go to the registrar, so yung tinitirhan nyo, there will be a registrar there, and then yung nga, sasabihin nyo nga, you want to marry, and then the registrar, depending on the type of visa you have, like si Jay said nga, may visa siya pero hindi nga siya indefinite dito. So sasabihin ng registrar siguro in that case we will have to give notice to the home office. So sasabihin ng home office may balak kayong kasal. And normally that means kailangan nyo mag-intay rather than 28 days, which is the normal thing, you have to then wait 70 days, which is fine, no? I mean, si Jay said nga, ano tayo ngayon, March tayo, no? So you can then be I suppose a June bride, which would be nice. And hopefully the weather is also a bit better for you. So once you have given notice nga and all the conditions required in order to be able to marry in the UK is satisfied, mainly it's the 28 days or 70 days notice nga, then you marry in the United Kingdom. No? So ibig sabihin, kasal nga kayo dito. Okay? That also means, kung kasal nga kayo dito, that you have the status of a spouse and everything that comes along with that. So so for pensions, for example, you would be a spouse. In divorce proceedings, for example, you would also be a spouse. No? So all those things, of course, it has wider repercussions rather than just nga yung immigration. No? So, pero importante po na alam nyo. So, yung nga lang, sa Pilipinas, it's a different thing because, of course, the Philippines will apply Philippine law, which is fair enough because, of course, it is the Philippines. So, just be careful, no? But in the UK, also, it means, Jay said, this is also, you didn't ask me this, but I'll tell you this for nothing, no? Now, ang visa mo ngayon is 2.5 years, no? It was provided because of family life and private life. So, ibig sabihin, kailangan mo 4 times 2.5 years, you have to satisfy 10 years leave to remain in the UK bago ka magiging makapasok ng indefinite leave to remain, which is settlement status, no? Now, ang payo ko ito, kung matagal na nga kayo, by that I mean 2.5, or more than 2 years na nga kayo dito, nagsasama, tsaka mapapakita nyo, nagsasama kayo 2 years minimum, o kaya ikasal kayo dito, no? Which means that you don't then need to show separately 2 years, enough to show nga na kasal nga kayo dito. That means next time magpapasok ka ng application, pwede mong palitan yung visa mo from that of this 2.5 years leave to remain outside the normal rules, so under family life, private life nga, to leave to remain as a spouse. Iba po yun, ha? Okay? So, as a spouse, kailangan yung pakita different conditions. So, there would be things like income, which is 18,600. Of course, that your relationship is genuine, is still ongoing. There's accommodation, no? Now, the reason why pwede mo nang gawin yun next time around is dahil may visa ka na. Kung wala kang visa nga ngayon, hindi niyo pwedeng ipasok basta-basta yung spouse visa. Dahil yung spouse visa, kailangan mong pakita meron kang status in the UK. Now, meron ka ng status ngayon in the UK, so which means pwede mong palitan yung visang yun ngayon, no, to that of a spouse. The advantage of that is this. No? So, yung spouse visa po, ang kailangan yung pakita, 5 taon, no? Then you can apply for indefinite leave to remain for settlement status. So, 2.5 and 2.5. Hindi nyo pwedeng idugtong yung, hindi nyo pwedeng gamitin yung 2.5 years na nakuha mo na ginawa mo na, Jay said, no? That won't count dahil hindi nga spouse visa yun. So, you need to start over. But, it means 5 years total. So, rather than waiting a total of 10 years, yung nga 2.5 times 4, okay? to get indefinite leave to remain, ibig sabihin you're waiting a total effectively of 7.5 years. No? So yung 2.5 nga dati, pinalitan mo nga, then it becomes spouse visa, 2.5, and then another 2.5. No? Now, iba po yung mga conditions for spouse visa. So again, be careful nga. And but if you think na okay, the relationship is stable na, and you satisfy all the conditions, including the income, because there's no income requirement for the 2.5 for the leave to remain outside the normal rules. Oh, there you go. Balik na tayo. I'm so sorry about that, no? So no, let me backtrack a bit, just to make sure na that I didn't miss, you didn't miss anything. So una po ito. So Jay said, no, looking at your case nga, may visa ka na nga ngayon, no? Now, pwede mong palitan yung visa mo to that of a spouse. The reason being, may visa ka na, no? At nung bago kong nagpasok, you didn't have a visa, so you don't get immediately a spouse visa. You can't apply for a spouse visa from the United Kingdom dahil wala kang visa dati. Ngayon may visa ka na, pwede mong palitan, no? The advantage is, kung palitan mo, ang total na kailangan pakita to get indefinite is effectively 7.5 years. So yung 2.5 na ginawa mo na, plus 2.5 and then another 2.5, 5 years as a spouse. So that means total nga 7.5 years rather than 10 years, which is presently what you would need to show kung hindi mo nga palitan yung visa mo nga ngayon. So you can, once you have married, or if you can show that you've been together a minimum nga of 2 years. But once you're married, hindi mo ka na nga yung 2 years. So there's some advantage in making an application or changing your visa nga, no? But to get there, of course, yun nga, kailangan nyo munang, Jay said, to get divorced. Kailangan mo nga lang yung marriage contract mo. And of course, detalye ng asawa mo for service with by the court. And of course, you need to then remarry in the United Kingdom, no? So it's actually, I mean, this is a summary really of immigration and divorce and immigration and marriage. So, pero kung yung ganun ang sitwasyon nyo, especially kung meron kayong mga anak nga sa atin, ang advice ko po, you should really seek legal advice bago nyo gawin, no? Now, that becomes even more important, no, kung wala nga kayong visa ngayon. So there is a question nga of timing, and also you need to be sure that actually you satisfy all the conditions. But there's some good news in that, at least in Jason's case, no? Yung question nga niya sa akin, can you divorce in the United Kingdom? Yes, you can. Can you marry in the United Kingdom? Yes, you can. Okay. Kailangan mo mga lang mag-ingat about the marriage nga sa Pilipinas. Okay. Because as I say, the divorce and then the remarry in the UK, valid here and actually valid pretty much everywhere, other than hindi po sa Pilipinas, because there, of course, Philippine law applies. No, so it is truly a very popular topic, and it's a very confusing topic. No, and there are within immigration. There are some topics that I say, well, no, I mean, yeah, itong sitwasyon, you can always look into that, and you don't necessarily need advice to take it up, to pursue it. But some topics like this one, no, you must. Ang advice ko po, you should really seek legal advice bago nyo gawin, because obviously it has quite wide-ranging repercussions. Hindi nga lang po immigration, but of course yung kasal nyo sa atin, no? Kung meron kayong mga lupa sa atin, kung meron kayong mga anak nga sa atin, and of course dito, no? Because other than the immigration, you want to make sure that you are indeed considered as a spouse in the United Kingdom for the purposes of other things. So, importante po yun. So, if kung ganyan sitwasyon nyo, similar to Jay said, please take advice bago nyo gawin. And kung nasa inyo yung marriage contract nyo, o wala pa dito marriage contract nyo, and itong plano nyo, get it. Because sometimes it takes a while, to get the marriage contract. But it shouldn't be, it's not impossible to get the marriage contract. I mean, the other possibility, of course, is yung asawa nyo, asawa mo, Jay said, nasa Pilipinas nga siya. So, he can, of course, petition for an annulment. Now, it will be more difficult for you dahil dito ka nga nakatira. So, they will, the court in the Philippines may have issues with jurisdiction for coming from you dahil dito ka nakatira. Pero kung yung asawa mo magpipetition ng annulment, they will probably not have any issues now with the jurisdiction. Yung nga lang annulment, I'm told, is can be quite complex, can be quite lengthy, and can be quite expensive. But an annulment also in the Philippines, because it's termination of marriage granted abroad, would also be recognized in the United Kingdom. So, but sometimes nga it's potentially easier to start the proceedings and continue with proceedings, divorce proceedings nga in the UK. So I say again, it's one of those topics that it's a very popular topic. It's actually a very complex topic. But I think if we talked about nga, all the possible issues, that can come about, we'd probably be here the whole night. But hopefully, Jay said, that yung questions more that we've dealt with it, and I hope that that's of interest nga, to you all. It's certainly of interest to me. It's one of those topics that everything is in there, immigration nga, of course, divorce, there's possibility of annulment nga, of course, the effect of both of those, divorce and annulment, on say assets. So it is a huge topic. I always enjoy talking about it, because cases, there may be similar principles applicable, but facts are always very, very different. No one case is the same. So it is something that's always, to me, interesting and challenging, because it could be that I say, okay, you should approach it maybe this way, but to someone else, same principle, but different facts, I may say, no, maybe better to do it another way. That's why I'm saying to you, kung itong sitwasyon nyo, or you're looking to potentially do this, please seek advice. Anyway, now, Paula, I hope that was enjoyed by one and all. I certainly enjoyed it. Pero tayo mga questions, I think, do you want to, shall we make a start with the questions? Because they're actually very interesting questions. Okay, galing po to kay Ruby S. Good evening, Attorney Lira and Sir Sonny. Sabi niya, may question po ako. May anak po akong isa, and my husband is a British, pero stepdaughter niya lang yung anak ko. Ang tanong ko po is, need pa rin bang ng daughter ko mag-take ng TB test with me? If yes, pwede po bang isabay mag-book ng TB test? Still confused about this po. Thank you and more power. Ruby, okay. Now, yung anak mo, so of course, dadali mo nga siya dito. The fact that she's your husband's stepdaughter is neither here nor there, Pwede mo siyang kunin, pwede niyang kunin yung anak mo, nakasama mo nga dito as a dependent. Now, kailangan ba niya mag-take ng TB test? Yes, is the answer, So, kailangan niyang TB test. All applicants, even children nga, to certain age, must provide a TB test. Kung wala siyang TB test certificate, hindi siya bibigyan ng visa. So, importante po yun. Na yung question mo, pwede mo ba siyang isabay mag-book? Now, I assume ang ibig mo sabihin, mag-book ka, tapos dadali mo nga lang yung bata. Hindi po yung pwede. You need to book a separate appointment for her. Of course, the same day, At saka, you can also book an appointment after your appointment, or an appointment nga before your appointment. Pero kailangan niya siya mismo. Dahil you see, when they issue nga the TB certificate, they need to see the booking. So kung isasabay mo nga lang siya, unang-una hindi siya bibigyan ng test, hindi siya bibigyan ng TB test because she's not booked, no? So mangyayari, nandun ka, gagawin nila yung TB test mo, and then you have to go back again. So ang payo ko, you do need to book a TB test for her. Now, kung yung I'm assuming you've satisfied the other conditions, ha? Siguraduhin mo nga lang ikaw kung papasok ka nga dito as a spouse, hindi lang yung TB test, ha? Beware, you also need to do the A1 test, yung English language, no? Yung bata dahil under 18 nga does not need to. Pero ikaw kailangan mo yung A1 test, no? So wag mo kalimutan, hindi lang yung TB test, no? So hopefully you that's helpful to you, Ruby. Meron pa tayong questions, I think, no? Paula? Okay. Galing po to kay John M. Good day, Attorney Lira and Sir Sonny. Magtatanong lang po ako how to renew a BRP for dependent visa. Nag-change employer po kasi yung partner ko and ma-expire po yung BRP ko this year. Thanks in advance. Okay. Now, so itong sitwasyon ni John, ibig sabihin nandito nga siya, dependent siya ng skilled worker. In the olden days, ang tawag po work permit holder. So nandito yung partner nga niya and as a skilled worker, under the skilled worker route, so dependent nga siya, which is great, no? As you know, kung dependent ka, you're not limited to the type of employment that you can undertake. And the employer that you have, yung asawa mo, is limited actually to the job that he has and at saka yung employer nga niya. Now, dahil nagbago nga ang employer niya, yes is the quick answer. Usually, that happens at the same time, no, as yung asawa mo. So, kung nag-resign nga siya, nagbabagong employer niya, normally yung application mo, kasabay nga. You can apply later, no? But you should do that also. Dahil, of course, the Home Office wants to know and they need to be informed na yung there's been a change. But it's frankly, kung ako kayo, I would submit it at the same time because then it's that way the Home Office sees both applications at the same time. And there may be there's less likely to be complications nga later. So the quick answer is absolutely kailangan mong gawin, John. Do it and keep us informed, no? So I think we have one other questions. Oh, Lacey. Hello, Miss Hobbs. Okay. Can we fight a refused return residential visa with a settlement visa with no ILR and BRP run out during COVID in 2020 while at home in the Philippines? Miss Hobbs always asks the most interesting questions. So tingnan natin to. Let's dissect nga this Miss Hobbs' very interesting question. So, ang nangyari, I am assuming, is residente dito yung tao. Settlement visa na nga siya. So, indefinite leave to remain. Same thing. Okay? Now, so ang nangyari, umuwi siya sa atin. No? So, nasa Pilipinas nga siya. Now, natagalan siya sa atin, yung tao. Partly because of COVID. So, it could be na nagkasakit nga siya. Now, kung indefinite nga kayo, indefinite visa holder kayo, settlement status, hindi ibig sabihin na that's forevermore. There's actually a 2-year effective time limit in that. Kung wala nga kayo dito sa UK for 2 years plus, yung visa nyo, indefinite leave to remain nyo, babawiin nila. Mawawala, no? So siya, yung kaibigan ni Miss Hobbs, it seems 2020, 2023 na tayo, nandun pa rin siya sa Pilipinas. So ibig sabihin, lagpas na ng 2 years. Now, so then what happened, I assume, is nagpasok nga siya ng application. It could even be na he tried to come back to the United Kingdom. Baka they probably refused entry. O kaya, nagpasok nga siya ng application for what's called returning resident, no? Iba po 'yon. Hindi nga yun indefinite leave to remain in that sense. It's the returning resident, no? Now, kung nagpasok nga siya ganoon and na-refuse nga siya, you should really have, in fact, the possibility of appealing against that decision. Now, you appeal by saying, of course, nagkamali nga yung home office, and you say why nga nagkamali yung home office, and then there would then be a hearing nga. But that it's quite a complex area of law. So kung returning resident nga kayo dito, magpapasok yung application, for goodness sake, make sure na mapakita nyo, meron kang ebidensya nga na dito pa rin kayo effectively nakatira. No? So kung meron kayong kamag-anak pa nga rin dito, pagka nandito kayo, meron kayong bahay o meron kayong landlord, magsasabi, oh yeah, no, at of course, yung kwarto nga niya, of course, that's still his, no? Kung meron kayong pension nanggagaling nga dito, kung meron kayong trabaho, no, nag-iintay pa rin sila nga dito, meron kayong nanditong pamilya nyo, you need to show na yung babalikan nyo nga UK, no, that you still have strong connections. Kung hindi nyo mapakita yon, then they will absolutely refuse the returning resident application. And that can be quite devastating, no? Especially kung hindi nyo naman kasalanan, no? So again, kung ang dahilan nga, natagalan kayo sa atin, dahil nagkasakit kayo, o yung mag-anak nyo nagkasakit, hindi nyo pwede silang iwanan basta-basta sa atin. You have to make arrangements nga for someone else to look after them. And you should also say that, no? So now it's a question really of the time limit, no, for challenging lagpas na ba, no, or not, no. Kung hindi pa, then challenge it kung na-refuse nga. Now, I suppose if all else fails and you didn't put forward all the evidence, you can. I suppose nothing's really stopping you from making another application. Yung nga lang, the Home Office will likely refuse it again because they will say, oh, tinignan namin to. But if you haven't submitted nga documents, and that's the reason why na-refuse ka nga, it may well be worthwhile having another go, no? Making another application nga. But beware, if you make an application, that's it's actually the highest fee, no? Because the charge there is quite a bit higher than simply indefinite leave to remain. So it is a money issue also. But of course, kung nandito nga kayo nakatira, gusto mo bumalik dito, this is where you live, no? Then it's probably not much choice but to make an application. So I'm sorry to hear that, Miss Hobbs. Dahil nga it's you being told you have to keep away from your home, what you regard to be your home country. It must be devastating. So keep me informed, Lizzie. Dahil I'm interested. You don't get so many of these types of cases. Because for the most part, thankfully, it doesn't. People don't stay away that long. So good luck, no. Hi, Edgardo. Hopefully you're back home, no, not traveling back from Canary Wharf, no. So question po ni Edgardo Enriquez, our friend, no. Good evening, sabi po niya, Tony Lira. If a child is disabled, special needs here in the UK, can the family apply someone from the Philippines to take care of the disabled child 24/7? Oh, this is salamat po, no? Salamat for the topic, because this is one that actually I get asked about a lot. No? Now, the quick answer is difficult is the answer, no? So a visit visa, so kung meron siyang lola sa atin, o hindi, lolo sa atin, ng mga pinsan, mga ganon. So a visit visa would allow someone to come into the UK to look after family here. It's not employment, okay? But kung ang dahilan nga is to look after the child, give respite care effectively now sa nanay o tatay nga dito, then you can say that also sa application. Pero ang limit nga po 6 months, no? Because that's the limit of the visit visa nga. Otherwise, there's no so visit visa because of family visit nga effectively, even if it's to look after this the child here, is allowed, no, because it's a family visit visa nga din. But to work especially. So kung sitwasyon, Edgardo, gusto nang kunin yung tao sa atin, no? A bit like a domestic worker, say, dito nga, tapos dito nga titira, yun hindi pwede. Then, unang-una, nagbago na yung batas to do with domestic workers, no? It actually changed in 2012. So, kung dumating nga kayo dito after April 2012, ibig sabihin, hindi nga lang basta-basta pwedeng yung extend dito yung visa nyo. And that's what, over 10 years ago. So, the answer is kinda, no? But really, on a temporary basis lang. It's a terrible thing. I mean, I get these questions all the time because, of course, especially kung kayong pamilya nga sa atin, pinsan kayo sa atin o lola, ganoon, gusto nang tumira nga dito to look after the child in the UK. That all makes sense, but most of the time it doesn't work, unfortunately. But again, look, Edgardo, keep me informed because it's one of those cases that it's terrible. There should really be a way of doing of making applications, or there should really be a route that allows that to happen. But the moment hindi po if anything, sinarado nga nila the domestic worker route, and as I say, that was back in 2012. Now, unless there are any other questions, Paula, then we can also now make questions. Of course, there will be questions. So, now, good evening, sabi po niya. Good evening, Attorney Lira and Sir Sonny. I have a quick question. I'm bringing my wife here next week to England. Oh, wonderful. We got a spouse visa and CFO, okay. But we were told that she needs to pay travel tax before she leaves. Is this right? Hope to get some advice. Cheers and many thanks. Now, Martin, I'm glad you asked this question because I actually I looked this up especially for you. Okay, now because it's not the tax actually is nothing to do with the UK. So this travel tax na sinasabi nga nila, it's as I said, nothing at all to do with the UK. So UK, she just needed, of course, if she got the spouse visa, she obviously satisfied all the relevant conditions. But the Philippines require this travel tax. Now, my research says this. There's something called the Tourism Infrastructure and Enterprise Zone Authority. In short, TIESA, tawag daw, no? It is a Philippine. It's a Philippine. I suppose unit, no? And it was established by the Republic Act number 9593. If you care to look it up, okay? So sabi doon, anyone leaving, any Filipino nga, leaving the Philippines needs to pay essentially travel tax unless they are exempt. And the exemptions apply to not many people actually. So overseas Filipino workers, OFWs, no, domestic worker, for example, Filipinos, permanent residents abroad. So kung dito nga, ikaw, for example, kung dito ka nakatira, but who stay in the UK is less than 1 year. So hindi ka natatagalan nga sa atin. And infants, by that, 2 years and below. There are other exemptions nga, like, those who are working for in the diplomatic service, but otherwise not many exemptions. So kung yung asawa mo, spouse visa nga siya, ibig sabihin kasama siya to the as to people who need to pay the travel tax. Now, the travel tax, it seems, is based on partly based on the type of travel, no? So from my research, a full travel tax is 2,700 Philippine pesos. If it's first class travel, it seems. Economy class travel, ang bayad is 1,620. There are sometimes it's a little bit less than if you're dependent of say an OFW, so it's a little bit less. But generally you're looking at 2,700 pesos, which I think is something like 40 odd pounds, no? So it's yeah. So unfortunately, the quick answer to your question is it seems you have to under TIESA. It must be, what I didn't find is when that came into play, no? And mga kababayan, if you're watching now, kung alam nyo, when that came into play, I'd be very interested. Because previously, at least last year, I'd never heard of this, no? So I don't know whether it's that new or it's simply that I didn't hear of it. But yeah, nothing to do at all with the UK. It's to do with the Philippines and the TIESA that was established nga, to do with presumably to raise funds to add to Philippine government coffers, no? But yeah, it's so the answer is yes, unfortunately. I don't know, meron pa tayong mga questions? Oh, wow. Okay, galing po to kay Max Bigkas. No, nice name, Max. Attorney Lira, nagkaroon po kami ng problema sa health and care worker visa. Yung homes, nag-issue sa amin ng job offer at ang immigration company collected full amount of professional fee. But the job offer is not honored. Oh, Max, I'm so sorry. Now, we have a number of problems here, Max, no? Unfortunately, again, hindi po yun unusual. I hope that you were not scammed, but it does happen. No? I'm aware of some companies na they're not actually the employers. They just say, oh yeah, walang problema, we can offer this job, sigurado po yun. You just need to pay us. Problema nga lang, Max, is if without what's called a cost, so not even the job offer is something else. So a job offer from an employer who does not have a sponsorship license, no, is no good to you. Ang kailangan mo, in addition to the job offer, is a cost. It's called the certificate of sponsorship. No? Yun ang kailangan mong ibigay o ipasok when you're making your application for entry clearance visa to come into the UK on that basis. Now, to make matters even worse, Max, no, the care work visa, I mean, it's still in existence. Ang problema nga lang, it's no longer, I think it's no longer part, yeah, because March na tayo, no? No longer part of the shortage occupation list as far as I know. I haven't actually looked it up recently, but it was only in play for, when it was introduced, it was supposed to be only in play for 12 months. That was in February last year. So it would have ended, subject to any changes, in February, so last month po. So Max, I hope you get your money back. It happens, unfortunately. It happens more often than you think. So yun. So, it's galing po to kay Max. He's watching now via the Filipino TV Europe. Sabi niya, I hope my question po gets read and answered by Attorney Lira. So Max, hopefully, no, that's helpful to you. So sabi po niya, okay, follow-up question. What's the best course of action? Can our relatives in UK what can they do to make those responsible accountable? You can sue them, no, Max? No, you don't have to be in the necessarily in the UK to sue them. So kung meron kayong kontrata, so have a look at that. So kung meron kayong kontrata, the contract should say which jurisdiction is applicable, Pilipinas ba o dito. I suspect kung dito nga sila based dito nga. But you can, in any event, even without nga a reference to it in the contract, kung dito nga sila based, you should sue them, no? You should sue them for the money back. In fact, it could even be that there's something not quite right about the whole thing, huh? So yeah, so you nga. So they have designated, no, I think that's designated certificate of sponsorship, but the Home Office suddenly withdrew. I don't know whether that's necessarily true, Max, no, because well, if it is, then the Home Office, by the homes, na hindi Home Office, but the homes suddenly withdrew. I mean, a number of reasons for that. It could be that the home said, no, well, we're not gonna, we don't need actually anyone anymore. They can do that. No? So they binawi nila yung job offer. Or it could also be that actually, even though contrary to what they say, there was no cost. No? So it's yeah. So Max, I'm so sorry. You're not alone with this situation. It's terrible. But keep us informed, ha? No, I'm really I'd be very interested to know. Unang-una nga, ano bang nangyari? At saka anong gagawin nyo, no? I-demand nyo, get your money back. No? Good luck. Okay. So, I don't know if we have any other questions nga, Paula. If in the absence of any other questions, the other thing that one of the more enjoyable part nga of our Happy Thursday is Batian. So do we? I hope we have some greeters, no, Paula? If we do, please flash. Oh, the lovely Oliver. I was so looking forward to hearing from you. So good evening po, Attorney Lira, Kuya Somi. Sorry, wala si Sonny nga ngayon. And Direct Pao is a terrific start to Thursday. Oh, he's so lovely. Daddy duties are done. And by that, it means the two robot hoovers are doing their rounds. I love him. On both levels of the house, while the washer and dryer are on overdrive. Also, so you haven't really been working very hard, Oliver, no? So the Roomba or the Neatos have been switched on, and you've switched on also the washer and the dryer. Also, have brought both kids to college. Oh, and served my wife a well-deserved breakfast after coming back from busy shift this morning. Time for a little me time. Actually, no, you deserve it, huh? Time for kappa while listening to our Thursday learning program. Oliver he's definitely right up there in my favorite people. No, see, Oliver, he is so lovely. He always gives us such interesting, commentary nga about his day, and I love to hear it. No, and he's such a good chap. And I tell you what, Oliver, yung ang asawa mo, I'm sure she thinks this already, but she's so lucky. So after a hard shift, ang ginagawa mo, you provide her with breakfast, no? Aren't you a good man? I love him. I love Oliver. And I'm sure everyone else listening loves him too. Another man I really love is Edgardo, no? Happy Thursday, sabi nga niya to Mr. Laragan, Attorney Lira, hardworking, tama siya, Derek Powell, and to the viewers, working from home today. Oh, good on you. And taking care of my son, Justin, now. Looking forward to lots of learning again today. Thanks, the guy from YouTube, na. So, no, it's thank you, no? Thank you, Edgardo. Thank you for tuning in. Especially, merong daddy duty ka nga, no? Oh, the lovely Miss Paner. Hello po, magandang gabi po, Kuya Sonny and Attorney Lira. At sa lahat, happy Thursday po and stay safe and stay healthy. To you too, no? God bless us. God bless, Miss Paner, no? And advance happy Easter, huh? The Librojo clan, another favorite, no? Happy Thursday, beautiful people. Ito naman, Rudy, no? They are a lovely family, such hardworking, talented, ha? So, malamig maulan, na masayang gabi, ng dagdag kaalaman ng Thursday, ng Happy Thursday. God bless us all. Tama ka, Rudy, no? Maulan nga. So, well, in Ireland, it's always kind of raining. That's why it's so green, ha? Dito, pero ngayon, today, I don't think it was raining today. But yesterday it was. So, Gigi, hi, Gigi. Good evening, Attorney Lira and Kuya Sonny. Happy Thursday, all viewers. God bless everyone. And also, Direct Paula, have a nice evening to you too, Gigi. Hope you're well, no? And tucked up in bed, nice and warm. Hopefully with a cup of tea. Oh, the lovely Ma'am Cora. We love Miss Carsola, no? She's Ma'am Cora. So she's so lovely. Hello, Sir Sonny, Attorney Lee, Direct Paula, and everyone. Masayang gabi po. May this night be a fruitful night for us, providing us lots of learning that we may share to everyone needing them. Tama ka, Ma'am Cora. Hope you're doing well, no? Not working too hard. Hopefully you're tucked up in bed now, no? Dahil it's nearly, it's okay, alas 8:30 pa nga lang. Ako, at the moment, 9 o'clock, pagod na ako, no? So, apart from Thursdays, because the adrenaline is keeping me going on Thursdays. So, good evening. Galing po to kay Lizzie, Miss Hobbs, with the great question earlier, no? Good evening, Attorney Lira and Sir Sonny. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday po, Miss Hobbs. Hopefully you're doing well and that your question was answered, no? Pasa mo sa kaibigan mo. And hopefully they do well. Don't give up, sabi mo. They should have another go if necessary. Oh, challenge. Yeah. Max, Big Taas. Hi, Attorney Lira, Sir Sonny. Aywan ko kung meron pang kadugtong dito. But hi, Max. Hopefully, you found yung discussion nga natin kanina helpful. And yun nga, kung hindi nga nangyari, no, ask for it back. Oh, Sonia Padilla Williams. Hi. Good evening, Attorney Lira and Sonny. At last, I was able to see your channel again. I tell you what, yeah, I'm glad you have, because actually I was looking for your email, madam. Because sabi mo nga sa akin, you couldn't see the channel. I wanted to email you the link. But anyway, I don't need to now because you're back. Salamat, no? Nice to see you. So, okay. So Max, sabi po niya, as an update, sabi niya, the immigration consultancy said they will refund what we paid for their professional fee. That happened in August 2022. Wow. Well, okay. That's August 2022, not 2023 na tayo. March na nga tayo. So what's that? About 6 months, 7 months? Yeah, you can apply. Can we forward a complaint to the OISC? Yes, you can. The Office of Immigration Services Commission. But check first, Max, if they're actually on the list. No. Sometimes mga tao, they shouldn't, of course, do this, but it could be na they may have misrepresented themselves. So if you go on the OISC website, they would have a list. If they're not there, you want to just double check, you can email OISC also. So sabi po to follow up for Max, sabi niya, Attorney, the homes suddenly do not want to honor the job offer without any given reason. Max, unfortunately, they don't have to necessarily give a reason, no? They can unfortunately withdraw at any time. Now you can sue them, of course, because you've been put to have to incur costs, no? But you can't force them to give you the job offer, which is actually what you want. Pero kung nangyari po ito in August, I just wonder what happened between August and February, which is when the care workers, no, change from shortage occupation to normal nga, because that was a while ago. So I'm sorry, Max. It's beyond disappointing. So I hope you get your money back. Okay. So galing po to kay John Linsky Hardinel, no. I'm here now in Antipolo. Hi, John. How are you? I mean, are you having a good time sa Antipolo? I hope you're well. And the weather's kind. No? I haven't actually been to Antipolo. One of my trips to the Philippines, I'll have a look at Antipolo. So I don't know if we have any other greeters nga, no? Paula, possibly not anymore. Now, ito po, I say again, if you're just tuning in, it's parang po Lira Simong CABATBAT. Coming from you directly live, no, from London, England. I hope you have enjoyed our immigration broadcast, Immigration Corner, anything immigration, no, on a happy Thursday nga. And salamat po for tuning in. And the topic earlier, as you know, is immigration, divorce, and marriage. So if you missed some of the points, replay us nga, no. But otherwise, it just leaves me to say, thank you po for tuning in. I so enjoy Thursday. Now, Unfortunately, wala nga si Sonny ngayon, but I'm sure he'll join us next week. Fortunately, we do have Paula. Otherwise, we will not be on air. But I've had a great time. The topic was big, challenging, and to me at least interesting. And we've had so many questions. And thank you all for yung mga bati nyo, no? I do. I enjoy everything, no? When it's on Thursday, but the thing I enjoy most yung bati nyo. So you did not disappoint. No? Oh, okay. So meron pang galing po to kay Renz Jetro Pino Hermoso. Okay, pahabol. Yeah. Good evening po, Attorney Lira. Ask ko lang po, ano po ba pwedeng gawin para makakuha yung girlfriend ko? Currently, naka-pre-settlement status po ako. Okay. At ano din po ang way if wife ko na siya, ano pong possible process na gawin para makuha siya? Family scheme na visa po ba papunta sa UK before maka-pre-settlement status? Salamat po. Now, it depends very much on a number of things, Renz, and it would be things like, when you started nga the relationship, for example, pre-settlement status ka nga, which means, of course, you can stay in the United Kingdom, and because, of course, we Brexited nga for some time. So the family scheme visa, for the most part, is already closed, ha? Pero gawin natin to, Renz. If you're able to just give me some, dates, when you started nga your relationship. Also, if you want, send me a copy nga of yung status mo. Of course, wala nang tatak, no? But if you give me a date also about a little bit more info, ang gagawin ko, I will email you. Okay, so email me and I'll email you back. I won't be able to email you tomorrow because I have various appointments nga tomorrow, but I definitely will next week. So email me. So galing po to kay Lizzie, pahabol, no? Attorney, na-expire raw ba ang B1? May expiry ba ang B1? Thanks in advance po. Most tests have a 2-year shelf life, no? So it depends really. So the B1, depending on the type of application na isasubmit nyo nga, it could be na kailangan niyang gawin uli yung B1. So yeah, so which is a bit of a pain. Kung 2 years, kung hindi 2 years, it should be fine. So meron pa ba tayong mga pahabol? Oh, Max ulit. So Lira, Tony Lira, maraming natutulungan ng programa nyo. More power. Oh, Max, salamat. I never tire of hearing that it helps people, no? Then, of course, immigration is a big topic, and it's such an important topic also. Then it dictates a lot of things. Pero kung kliyente, and I will never forget, sabi nga niya sa akin, at the time, meron siyang problema sa immigration niya. So sabi niya sa akin, it's the first thing I think of when I wake up in the morning, and it's the last thing I think of when I go to bed at night, no? It's that stressful, yung immigration nga. So it is, it's such an important topic. So I mean, for my part, I look forward to Thursdays because I do truly enjoy nga, no? Interacting with you and hopefully imparting knowledge that it's useful nga. So I hope that you do find it helpful. So salamat, Max. It's always a pleasure. And thank you for joining us. It's I'm always grateful for the time that you give nga, no? So and I don't know if meron pang pahabol na question, no? May mga questions pa tayo, Paula, or pretty much it. So or it could be that's pretty much it, no? Anyway, Lizzie, maraming salamat. Maraming salamat, Lizzie. Thank you. Oh, Miss Hobbs is always a regular viewer natin. So no, the thanks. It's my pleasure and thank you, no? So galing po to kay Renz. Thank you po, attorney. God bless po. Yeah, no, Renz, my pleasure. But email me, no? Huwag mong kalimutan. And this is to everyone, Kung mag-email po kayo sa akin, huwag niyong kalimutan, lagay niyo dun sa subject, Immigration Corner. Ang problema ko, you'll see, I open my emails at whatever time. Itong email ko po, so thank you Paula for showing our email. No? Ang email ko po ito, kabatbat@douglas-simon.com. So mag-email kayo sa akin, then lagyan nyo dun sa subject, Immigration Corner. So that way, then hindi ko nga alam nang galing nga sa inyo, ang pangalan nyo, then ang gagawin ko, I'll open it, and if I close it, and I'm looking for it, if I just type in Immigration Corner, it will then come up. No, that way I can then make contact with you. Huwag niyo kalimutan din, if you want me to also call you, lagay niyo yung number niyo, no? And I'll buzz you back. I'm not able to answer emails nga immediately, often, but I will certainly, I will put you on the list of people I need to contact in yung problema. You can also call, so ang details po namin, no? kabatbat@douglas-simon.com, yung pong diretso kong email. Telephone number po, 0203-375-0555. You're welcome to call, but if you want to speak with me, oftentimes it's, o kung meron kayong mga questions, oftentimes emails better, because then I can come back to it later on. But as I say, my number is 0203-375-0555. Now, I will actually be writing an article, as I normally do, buwan-buwan nga, on actually immigration, divorce, and marriage. And yun, like other articles, I will put it on our website. So website po namin is this, no? www.douglas-simon.com. So if you go to our website, there's a tab that says news, okay? Nandun ko lalagay. So you can always have a look nga at the up-to-date articles. And sometimes you just need to look at the article and it answers nga your questions, no? And if it doesn't answer nga your question, feel free, no, to ask me nga to elaborate. And then hopefully at the very least I can point you in the right direction, no? So but yeah, so it just leaves me again to say salamat po. It's always truly, hindi ko lang sinasabi to, hindi to bola. I do truly enjoy Thursdays, and I look forward to seeing you all nga on Thursdays. And thank you po for joining us. I'm just sorry wala nga si Sonny ngayon. But I have, as usual nga, no, enjoyed our time together. And I hope that was of help nga to you and I don't know, hope mga pamilya nyo nga. But now, so hopefully you have a great weekend, no? And stay safe, yeah. So it just leaves for me to say for me, and of course Paula Perez, our hardworking director, and to you and yours, salamat po for joining us. Happy Thursday to you, and hope to see you next week. Bye for now.